So I'd like you to title the blank piece of paper, Solving Systems of Equations with Matrices. This is probably going to be your favorite method, I would think. This is the fourth method, and it is the most efficient and easiest. You can do this by hand, but we are going to solve systems of matrices on your calculator. So you can do it by form. It's called row reduced echelon form, but unless you major in math or science in college, you won't see this by hand. So since not all of you are doing that, we are doing this on the calculator. It's the fourth way to solve for systems of equations. All these methods solve for the same thing. So keep that in mind. Okay, the next thing I want you to write on your paper is definition of a matrix. So what actually is a matrix? It's a rectangular arrangement of numbers in rows and columns. A rectangular arrangement of numbers in rows and columns. And I'm just going to draw one. So there's an example of a matrix. Have you guys ever seen that in math? It's like big brackets with numbers in it. So a rectangular arrangement of numbers in rows and columns. And the setup of it is, this is like 1x plus 2y equals -8. 0x plus 5y equals -3. All we're doing is taking an equation and we're throwing it in there. Taking an equation and throwing it in there. They're just two equations in a matrix. The calculator reduces it and solves it for you and gives you the x, y value. So you don't have to use graphing, you don't have to use elimination, substitution, any of that. Second definition is dimensions. So dimensions is where m is the number of rows, n is the number of columns. The dimensions of a matrix are always m by n. The reason I have this up here, and I just put up here what you really needed, is you need to know what a dimension is before we put this into the calculator. So m by n, it's always rows by columns. And what I mean by that is this is a row, this is a row. Think of rows in an auditorium, and column is here, there's a column here, there's a column here. Think of columns as the big white pillars on a house. Column, 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 rows, rows. You need to know the difference. I know some of you might be sitting there thinking, why is she telling us that? I already know that. Just make sure you know rows this way, columns this way. No one's learned this before? Anything about matrices? All right, so you don't need to actually write these examples unless you want to. What I want you to tell me is, what are the dimensions of 1, 2, and 3? So the dimensions are always rows by columns. So what are the dimensions of number 1? Rows by columns. How many rows, how many columns? Well, rows by columns. Careful. Row by column. Row, 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 column, column. There you go. So it's 3 by 2 because 1, 2, 3. There's 3 rows and then 2 columns. 1, 2. I'm going to put an RC. It's always row by column. Okay, who can tell us the dimensions of number 2? Row by column. Jackie? Good job. 2 by 3. 2 rows. 3 columns. 1, 2, 3. It's always row by column. Okay, someone that hasn't answered, how about the third one? Row by column. Amanda? Close. Row by column. Good. 3 by 1. Row, 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 column. Row, 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 column. Remember, columns are up and down, rows are across. Guys okay with that? Okay. This part, it's up to you if you want to write this down. So it's optional. So use the matrix method when So here's the part I'd like to emphasize. Use matrices when there's decimals and both equations are in standard form. So if you want to write it down, write it down. You can write whatever you want. If not, just remember it. Use matrices when there are decimals. Both equations have to be in standard form. And to be honest with you, I use a matrix to make answer keys on tests because it's the easiest, fastest method. You actually could use matrices for every single method, but we are emphasizing this year to use the matrix method when there are decimals. So use the matrix method when there are decimals, but you can actually use it for anything. The equations have to be in standard form. Your calculator might not do this, and if not, I'll give you a different one. Okay, I just realized that. Okay, I don't write down that problem yet. There are 6 steps that I'm going to give you. This is the last part of note taking, then we're going to do some examples. So what I want you to write down on your paper, this is the most important part, is first let's write down these 6 steps and then we're going to actually do it. So step 1 for solving systems with matrices. Is that too dark? Okay. Put both equations in the form, which is standard form, ax plus by equals c. So step 1, put both equations in the form ax plus by equals c. So make sure they're both in standard form. And I would make sure you put a box around these when you're done or something, because these are very important. Step 2, enter the coefficients into a 2 by 3 matrix. And we do that by matrix, edit, enter. And I'll go through all that with you. Second, quit. So enter the coefficients into a 2 by 3 matrix, which is matrix, edit, enter, second, and quit. That's why we went over dimensions, because you need to know if it's a 2 by 3 or whatever the dimensions might be. Okay, step 3, enter RREF. Matrix Math RREF. So we're going to find the RREF, and I'll show you how to do this. And in parentheses, Matrix Math RREF. RREF is that row reduced echelon thing that I was talking about. That's what it stands for. You don't need to know that, though. Step 4 is name your matrix. It's already going to be named for us, but I'm going to show you that. And we get to that by matrix, names, enter. And we're going to go through all these steps together. Okay, step 5. On your screen, RREF, and then in parentheses, A with a bracket around it should appear. Press enter. So on your screen, RREF, parentheses, A with a bracket should appear. Press enter. And then, well, actually, yeah, we're going to write that, and then we'll do a problem. Okay, so on your screen, whoops, step 6, on your screen, something like this will appear. In this case, it's 106015. So on your screen, something like this will appear. The only thing that's going to change are these numbers. The 6 and the 5 are going to change. 6, 5 will be the answer. Does anyone know why? How would that be X and how would that be Y? I only said one thing today that might lead you to explain why. Okay, we're going to go through the process first, then we'll talk about that. Okay, after you have those steps down, put a box or something around it. Those are what you need to know for how to solve a system with a matrix. It's really fast. This might look like it's going to take a long time, but it does not take this long. Underneath that, I want you to write down number 8. So I'm actually going to move mine down. Whoops. I'll leave mine up here. Underneath yours, go ahead and put number 8. The first thing we need to do is make sure they're in standard form. So are those both in standard form? What do you guys think? Yes or no? Yep, they are. There's decimals there. So immediately if you see decimals, I would say use matrices. So we need to make a matrix once they're in standard form, and we need to put all the coefficients in the matrix. That means if I could cut and paste all the numbers out of here, cut them, and then paste them into here, that's what we're doing. So negative 0.4, 0.8, 1.6. On the bottom, 2.2, negative 1.6, and 5.2. So cut and paste the numbers out, which are the coefficients, and put them into the matrix. All right, so leaving that on your paper, I want you to go to your calculator with me. Stay with me on this one. So the first thing I want you guys to do is clear the memory, just to make sure we're all on the same page. So second plus 712, enter. Second plus 712, enter. Maggie, I think yours is kind of like that. After you clear the memory, we already did step 1, which is entering the coefficients in. So we need to go to step 2. So we're going to go to second matrix. This button right here that I just pressed, second matrix, which is, my keystrokes are up here. Second x to the negative 1, above x to the negative 1 is matrix. Does everyone see that? Maggie, does yours have a matrix button? Did you click on matrix? Okay, well just watch me for now and I'll come figure yours out at the end of class. Okay, hit the left arrow, go over to edit. Hit the left arrow, go over to edit. Hit enter. Everyone's screen should now look like mine. This is matrix A. We always use matrix A, it's just easier. And I need you to change the dimensions to be a 2 by 3 because this matrix over here has 2 rows, 3 columns. 2 rows, 3 columns. Okay, so the what's it called? I'm sorry, dimensions are in there. Hit the right arrow until you get over here to the 0. We now need to enter in all of these numbers. Now stay with me so you don't type it in wrong. The negative is down here below the 3. So hit negative 0.4. Enter. 0.8. Enter. 1.6. Enter. 2.2. Enter. Negative, make sure you hit the negative at the bottom. 1.6. Enter. 5.2. Enter. So make sure yours look just like mine. We now need to hit second quit. So second mode allows you to quit. We need to go back to the home screen. Go back to matrix. Second x to the negative 1. Go back to matrix. Go to math. go up to RREF, which is letter B. So go up to RREF, which is letter B. Everyone with me? Hit enter. Go back to second matrix one more time so that we get letter A in the parentheses. Hit enter, end parenthesis. Do I need to go back to for anyone? Hit enter. Did everyone get that? Raise your hand if you did not get that for some reason. Dirk? Because you missed a step. There you go. Anyone else? Did you have one in your locker? That's right, you don't have one. What'd you say? And so I'll try to figure yours out, Maggie. Haley Waters. Here, pass it over to Haley, if you don't mind. Everyone else's calculator okay? Alan, did yours work okay? All right. So what does this all mean? So let's go over here. Does anyone have any idea if this represents the equation in standard form, why does this work that 6 is x and 5 is y? Melissa? Okay. There's a reason. Anyone know? Okay, so let me show you. So there's a 1, 0, and a 6. Same thing as saying 1x plus 0y equals 6. What's 0 times y? 0, right? So look, you're left with x equals 6. Why does the bottom one work? We have 0x plus 1y equals 5. 0 times x is 0. 1y is 5, which means y is 5. The ordered pair, the solution for this system up here is 6, 5. So it might seem like it's long, but it's not. The steps are extremely easy. We just solved that system. This is x, this is y. It always looks like this, but the numbers change. Do you guys think that you'll like this better? Jake? Yeah. This is like everything we've done, all the methods we've learned. You really don't need them. You can use this for all of them. When I make answer keys to your homework and quizzes, I use this method for all of them. Right, but if you're not allowed to use a calculator, you know what I mean? If you don't have a calculator, you still need to know how to do it by hand. And I kind of think it's weird. They make one chapter designated to 4 methods that do the exact same thing. All 4 methods we've learned solve for systems of equations. This is a big part of Algebra 2. If you remember this, it will really help you check your answers. So yeah, yesterday's elimination quiz, which some of you did not do very well on, because of little mistakes. That method you can check with this process, always. Okay, so no one has calculator issues. All right, let's do another one together. Okay, we already did number 8. Okay, number 9. So I want you to write down this problem. 8.3x equals 2y plus 3. And then y equals 6.4x minus 14. And I think our answer on this one's going to be a decimal. Yeah, it's going to be a decimal. Okay, so there's decimals. Let's use the matrix. First step, put them in standard form. They are not in standard form. So step 1, let's do this together. The first equation, we need to subtract 2y on both sides. So we have 8.3x minus 2y equals 3. Second equation is not in standard form, so we need to put it in standard form. Minus 6.4x on both sides. Well? Yes. Since we're not putting it in correct standard form, we're just using the matrix, you're okay. Yeah, good question though. So negative 6.4x plus y equals 14. If we did multiply negative 1 by that whole thing, we're going to get the same answer. So even if you did do that by accident, no big deal. Okay, so once they're in standard form, I want you to make a matrix. We are cutting the numbers out and pasting them into the brackets. If you're not with me, let me know. So we would have 8.3, negative 2, 3, Negative 6.4, 1, 14. Heather. Oh, yeah, thank you. I forgot. See, I couldn't see it because I wrote my y over it. Thank you. 14 is negative, my fault. Thank you, Heather. And if you make a mistake like that, the answer is going to be completely off. So I would have gone through that whole process and it would have been wrong. So thank you. Okay, so let's go to our calculator. I would say clear your memory first. Second, plus 7, 1, 2, enter. So clear your memory. Okay, first step. Who can remind us? What's the first thing we need to press? Jake. Good. Second matrix. Then what? Second matrix, then what? Edit. Good job. I'm going to hit the left arrow, go over to edit. Haley and Maggie, if I go too fast, let me know. Go over to edit. Hit enter. What are the dimensions of our matrix? Helene? Good. There's 2 rows and there's 3 columns. Hit enter. And I need to hide this because I can't see. Okay. So 2 by 3. We now need to type in these numbers. So 8.3, enter. Negative 2. Please use the negative at the bottom. 3, enter. Negative 6.4, enter. 1, enter. Negative 14, enter. So again, make sure you didn't make any mistakes. Make sure everything's typed in correctly. Okay, now what? What's the next thing we hit? Well, good. Second mode, which quits. It allows us to go back to the home screen. Now go back to second matrix. How do we get to RREF? Jake? Good job. Good. Math, and then scroll up to B. Oh, not that far. This thing is so sensitive. Okay, so scroll up to RREF, hit enter, go back to second matrix, hit enter, and Dirk, that's where I lost you. You're with me. Hit enter, end parenthesis, hit enter, and did everyone get 5.5 repeating, 21.5 repeating? Wow, you guys are so good. Did you get it? You got lost. Okay, I'll come over and help you because I went faster that time. Haley, did I lose you? Okay, did everyone else get that? Okay, so I want you to, on your paper, actually you guys tell me, what's X? Will. Good, 5.5 repeating, and Y is 21.5 repeating. So 5.5 repeating and 21.5 repeating. That's all you do. Okay, I'm going to give one for you guys to try on your own so I can walk around and help some of you, and I think you're going to be ready to start homework. If we need more, I made 2 more examples that are up here. So on your own, I want you to try number 10. All right, try number 10 using your calculator. Make sure they're in standard form first, okay? Maggie, let me see where you left off. Did you at least type everything in?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just make sure everything. Okay, so second quit. Okay, go to second matrix. Okay, go to math. Let's go to the right. Go up to RREF. Hit enter. Okay, go back to second matrix. Hit enter. And then put an end parenthesis. Hit enter. Okay, just try the next one. When you get stuck, let me know and I'll come help you. Sure. Haley, do you need help? Sure. You guys will get a decimal for one of the variables on this one. So when you get it or if you get stuck, put your hand up so I can come check or help you. The memory, second plus 7, 1, 2. Enter. Okay. If you guys wanted to clear memory, second plus 712, enter, enter. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, awesome. You need me to help you? Go back to second matrix, hit enter, end parenthesis, enter. Good job. Awesome. Good job. Awesome. Anyone else get it yet? If you get stuck, please let me know. You okay, Katrin? Good, you got it. Awesome. Good job. Awesome. Oh, yeah, sorry. Heather, I was coming to see, not yours. Good job. Yeah, yep. Yep, awesome. Mom, how did you get it? Awesome. Okay, Sam, what'd you get? Mm-mm. Did you put them in standard form first? Sam, go back to your original matrix and make sure you have 4.3, 5, negative 1, 7.6, 10, negative 1. That's why. Okay, Haley Waters, what did you get? Good job. 0.66, and that's repeating. Maggie, did you get it? That's fine. Take your time. I'll come over and help you if you need it. Any questions on that? Okay. Do you guys want to start your homework or try another one? Homework? Okay. If you're having stuck, I'll come around and help you. Okay, open up your book to page 439 and 448. So all you're doing here is using your calculator and finding what x and y are. So 439, 20 to 28, and then 448, 25 to 33. You have 10 minutes. So if you're having calculator issues or having trouble with the process, I'll come around to help you. What'd you say? 439 and 448. They're up there. They're up there. I'll leave them up there. Okay, I'll walk around in case you need help, in case you need checked, and let me check and see if there's decimal answers. Yeah, there will be some answers that are decimals, so don't be surprised if you get decimals. Some of the equations have fractions. You can put a fraction into your calculator, into the matrix, like 1 divided by 2, enter. 3 divided by 8, enter. So same process, but instead of a decimal, they might give you fractions. On your paper, the homework paper, all I need to see is make sure that you have it in standard form, and then show me what you typed into your matrix. So make the brackets like we did in class, put the numbers in, and then I need to see your ordered pair, which is the answer. That's all I need to see. On the quiz on Friday, same thing. I need to see what's in your brackets, and I need to see the ordered pair. Okay?